these fans will make the long journey home to Clare tonight very, very pleased with themselves if they can hold on. At the moment, they're looking good to us.
Yes, Gerald, and they must be very happy with the display in the first half, you know, and from a Galway's point of view, there must be very disappointment with some of their players' performance, especially in the half-forward line, and it's galling to see the way, I mean, Anthony Daly can pick out his forwards with passes from the half-back line there in the first half, with no challenge from a Galway forward or anything like that. And at the other end, every time a Galway defender gets the ball, there's a clear forward there, ready to block them down, ready to hoop them, you know. And I think for the second half, even though they're only 5 points down the team, that's Galway will have to do an awful lot more hurrying and tackling players.
Sean Tracy leads his boys out. John Coleman and also Monty Kearns there, 2 of the selectors, along with Matty Murphy, the team manager. Liam Burke appreciating that Galway needs some rapid scores. Brendan Keogh, the centre half back, along with Michael Coleman.
And one change on the Galway team, we have Tom Helber coming in for Christy Helber. That's the only change so far, but they were a long time coming out of the dressing room. A lot of hard talking done at half-time. We'll see if it makes a difference in the second half.
Tom will wear number 18 and presumably play at left corner back in place of Christie, who was one of the stars last year in the All-Ireland semi-final. Sean Tracy, his defence has conceded 2 goals so far. Tom Helber has gone across to right corner back. Conor O'Donovan is left corner. Dickie Murphy is poised to restart. It's 2-6 to 7 points. Brendan Keogh has switched with Nigel Shaughnessy. It's Brendan Keogh, number 6 at midfield, alongside Michael Coleman. Anthony Daly there, swinging his stick, keeping it away from Justin Campbell. Jerry McInerney. The leg went out there of P.J. O'Connell just to try and gain an advantage. Pat Delaney there from Rathdowney and County Laois, the linesman across there, signalling that it's going to be a Clare ball. Ger Loughnane removing the flag on the 45-metre line. Ger, who's really worked the oracle this year alongside Mike McNamara and Tony Considine, who's also a great singer, as we know from their great day back in Thurles. So sending in the ball. Knocked out by Nigel Shaughnessy to Michael Coleman. Down into the corner towards Francis Ford. Racing across is Joe Rabbit. Rabbit, who didn't make an impact in the first half. Shawnee McMahon, his marker once again. Rabbit back on the 40. Joe Cooney still at full forward. Here's Ollie Fahy. Fahy trying to take it around a couple of players. Lobbed inside, too much for Joe Rabbit. That's a bad start to the second half for Galway. They really need to get their cohesion going, apply themselves fully to this task. Joe, one of the younger breed, just 25 years of age, but they've got a number of players who are got a lot of mileage on the clock. And they may well be feeling the pace and feeling the heat this afternoon. Over the head of Michael Coleman towards P.J. O'Connell. O'Connell taking it down here for Fergie Toohey. The star of the Clare half-forward line during the first half. Ollie Baker in there, manfully against Michael Coleman. Runs back towards Fergal Haggard. He has the presence of mind to pick out Anthony Daly. We await the first score of the second half. Conor Clancy, maybe the provider. Nicely inside the Fergie Toohey towards Gerald Loughlane. Got the first point of the first half. It's a goal! A second goal for Gerald Loughlane. A third goal for Clare in the second minute of the second half. Well, certainly it was Anthony Daly who became the provider. Conor Clancy, lovely hand pass. Toohey involved in the equation as well. And watch this for clinical finishing. Richie Burke had no chance. Well, this is the dream start. For Galway, it's the nightmare scenario. Touched off Ollie Fahy. Now Galway need to show us what they're made of. This Galway side, as we said at the outset, has won All-Irelands at minor, under-21 and senior level, dating back to 1988. But this is where the score was taken magnificently by Gerald Loughlane. Hardly a better finish. He had a very tight space in which to hit that. Joe Cooney. He lobs it in, they're going for a goal. Brian Lohan unchallenged initially. Now he's got the challenges. Ollie Fahy, one of them. And the referee's whistle sounds. It's going to be a free out for Clare. But for Brian Lohan and the others right now, it's a case of keeping the feet on the ground, getting on with the business. What a time to get a third goal right at the start of the second half.
It was a great start for Clare, you know, tremendous finish by Gerald O'Loughlin. Maybe tempted to pick it and hit it out of his hands, but a great ground shot. But again, you see there then Joe Cooney with a chance to maybe peg a point back for Galway and decided to lob the ball into square. We're only 2 minutes into the second half. There's still plenty of time left in the game. We've seen teams in the past coming from 10 points back to win matches, you know, so it's early stages yet.
Right now, Galway will have to come from 8 points back. Conor O'Donovan just notches it out a little bit. PJ O'Connell playing with an extra dash in his step now. Nice ball across. Oh, Gerald O'Loughlin let it drop down. Here's Clancy. Clancy lobs it in. Tom Helibert holding his man. His man was Gerald O'Loughlin, who protests, but the referee says play on. Joe Cooney thought about the pass towards Liam Burke. Over his head, flung inside towards Francis Ford. Ford gets a touch! That's a great goal! That's a wonderful strike by Francis Ford. In the 5th minute of the second half. That lead is pegged back now, quite considerably. 5 between them.
That's a great score for Galway. A high ball coming from Joe Cooney and went in between defenders, and a great flick by Francis Ford. He gave it to Fisher, no chance in goal.
This was a wonderful score. Look at the wrist stretched out. Intuitively struck inside. Free to Clare at the opposite end. Maybe now it won't be all that plain sailing that they were dreaming about a few seconds ago. PG O'Connell, the injured player. The Clare doctor is Conor Fanning. Colin Flynn is the physio. Colin there with the team doctor. Moving away. The noise here is amazing. James O'Connor, 2 frees taken so far. He scored 2 points. Here he goes for another. Straight between the posts. 3 points from frees, in fact 4 in all, because he got 1 from play. And the Clare flags flying triumphantly. Plenty of time remaining and only 2 goals in it. But the extra dash is coming from the Banner County. Is there a response from Galway? Ollie Fahy, that's beaten away by Brian Lohan. Ollie Burke to himself, or rather the Galway defence coming in on top of him quickly. Now towards Francis Ford. Ford against Frank Lohan. Lohan can't take it up. That's Ollie Baker again. Brian Lohan, or rather Frank Lohan, out to Mikey Coleman, and that's over the bar. Great point by the Abbey Knockmoy player after there was what you might call foostering by some of the defenders. This is where Baker played it back here. The clearance came out only as far as the unmarked Coleman, and with his wily old experience he wasn't going to miss. Dropped from the hands of Fergie Toohey, but on towards Fergal Hegarty. Fouled. Foul conceded there by Brendan Keogh. Played here, of course, at wing forward in the All-Ireland Series in 1993. Tremendous noise all around the 4 corners of Croke Park. A place in the All-Ireland final 4 weeks from now against Offaly. Shawnee McMahon drops it in low. Might have gone for the point. Instead it's Sean Tracy. A little partial block on that by Gerald O'Loughlin. Clare get the decision. James O'Connor to cut it. Going away from goal, PG O'Connell trying to forage against Jerry McInerney. Jerry put under some considerable pressure. O'Connell across the face of goal. Nigel Shaughnessy touches it down. James O'Connor waiting for it. It's going over the bar. Great point by James O'Connor. His 5th of the match. 3 from frees and now 2 from play. And once again it's a 2-point difference. But PG O'Connell set this one up. He really stuck to his task well against Jerry McInerney. The ball came down to Jamesy O'Connor, and that was enough.
Great score again by James O'Connor. We're certainly Clare up playing like a team that have played in Croke Park for many years, you know. You would never think that this is their first big occasion in Croke Park today.
Some, of course, have played here against Dublin in the league. There was also a league quarter-final, I remember, about a year ago. Francis Ford back at the other end. And Francis Ford means business. The goal has done his confidence a lot of good. 5 points the margin once again. He's got a goal and a point. Well, 5 points is nothing, as we all know, in a game of hurling, especially with so much time remaining. David Fitzgerald's puck out. The wind, if anything, has died quite considerably in the sunshine. Jamesy O'Connor is sparkling. That's going away to the left, however. Clare's first wide of the second half. They're 10th in all. This young teacher at St. Flannan's College, which has been a nursery for Clare emerging hurling stars down the years. Shawnee McMahon under the dropping ball, so too Joe Rabbit. Rabbit trying to exert a greater influence, gets the ball inside towards Justin Campbell. Campbell stopped just outside the large rectangle, comes away to safety. Brian Lowen in quick pursuit. The shadow of the Hogan stand lengthening. Appeals all around. Brendan Keogh appealing that it should be a Galway ball, but the linesman Tommy McIntyre signalling that it's going to be a Clare possession. Tommy McIntyre, the linesman, hails from Antrim.
As we stage in the game now, Gerard, teams are going to be finding the heat and getting tired, you know, and it's the team with the greater resolve and the hunger to win that's going to come out on top.
Liam Doyle, won an All-Ireland club medal here against Kilkenny 2 years ago at junior level. That was a miserably wet afternoon, I seem to remember. Today, the complete opposite. Clancy's inside 6 years ago in the All-Ireland minor semi-final. He was at full forward also, causing problems for Christy Hellebert as Galway make changes, and coming into their side is Michael McGrath. The hopper is on. 11 minutes or so into the second half. So hopper is on, and we look around to see who's off. And it's going to be Joe Rabbit, I think, who's going to make that lonely journey across to the dugout. Hasn't been his day, or his counties so far. Michael Coleman, appreciating that with 5 points between the teams, it's still there to play for. It may be a forlorn hope against this all-action, lively Clare team, but Galway will battle. Pride is at stake. Galway get the free. So Joe Cooney, the last time following Clare's third goal, lobbed it in around the house. Can he now put it over the bar? That's what he's aiming to do, and he finds the target. 4 points for Joe Cooney, 2 from play, 2 from frees. And if he'd put over that earlier free we talked about, well, the gap would now be down to an even more manageable proportion. It's a 4-point lead. Clare living on their nerves right now. Galway trying to edge back into this one. Nigel Shaughnessy, a wonderful catch. The Clare fans urging on their team. Likewise, Galway fans up on Hill 16. Joe Cooney towards Liam Burke, caught in there by Frank Lowen. Lowen is held, it's a free out to Clare. The Clare full back line has been magnificent so far. But as Tomás Mulcahy was saying earlier on, the rock upon which this Clare team has been built all season has surely been that half-back line of Doyle, McMahon and Daly. David Fitzgerald's free. It's a huge one. Dropping 20 metres in from the Galway goal. Won by Jerry McInerney. Hand pass forward to Michael Coleman. Coleman taking it one first time forward, down towards Justin Campbell. Campbell runs into a stern challenge. Frank Lowen, the hand pass across to Liam Doyle. Doyle in towards Fergie Toohey. to PJ O'Connell. O'Connell for Clare, looking for another score. This time stopped by Richie Burke. Liam Doyle under it again. That's wonderful wing-back play. Getting it away from the attentions of Ollie Fahy. A dangerous one. Richie Burke drops it. Ball still running loose in there. There's a chop down. Clare appealing. The referee says free out. That was very close.
A caution off decision to me. I think the Clare forward going through, maybe he was pulled down at this stage.
Here we go again. There's where Conor O'Donovan whipped out. Galway get the free, however.
Well, certainly Galway have come very much into the game there in the last 10 minutes, you know, and they've been hurling very strong, but yet to get a reward from their half-forward line.
Liam Burke has now moved out to left half forward. Francis Ford now operating around the centre. Runs on here for Jamesy O'Connor, gets away from Conor O'Donovan. Jamesy composing himself, doing well. Gerald Loughlin just trying to apply the finish. Didn't quite touch it, I think. Closely marked by Tom Helibert. Jamesy O'Connor had the right idea. It's only a 4-point difference. 20 minutes to play. Richie Burke's puck out. Getting good length into it. Shawnee McMahon breaks it down. Loses the stick in the process. Anthony Daly topping it to himself. Away from Michael Coleman. Down into the corner. Gerald Loughlin beaten by Tom Helibert. Tom was out with a shoulder injury, so wasn't started. Here's Anthony Daly. That's a big, big one. A huge one. Stopped on the line by Richie Burke. From his point of view, it was fortunate that the sun wasn't in his eyes. The sun at this stage in the eyes of Davy Fitzgerald at the opposite end. Ollie Fahy for Galway. In towards Joe Cooney. Beautiful pick up by Cooney. 45 metres out. Hit inside towards Justin Campbell. Davy Fitzgerald coming from the goal, making a fine save. Challenge for possession as well, he may be. Shawnee McMahon. That was dangerous. Here's Liam Doyle. Scoring chances at either end. Game really opening up. Michael Coleman. Shawnee McMahon dropping it down from the left hand. Pressure applied on him. Inside towards Justin Campbell again. Brian Lohan trying to nurse it away from Davy Fitzgerald's goal. Good clearance by Brian Lohan towards PJ O'Connell. He's beaten by Jerry McInerney. 47 metres out. In towards Ollie Fahy. Ollie now top of the left. Against Michael O'Halloran. And that's gone wide. That's a very poor miss of the circumstances. After Galway had done so much of the pressurising.
Well, Jim McInerney has been warming up, if that's the correct term, for the last 5 minutes or so. He's donned his helmet and he's into the field. Don't know as yet who's coming off, I'm afraid, but Jim McInerney has been psyching himself up, warming himself up, and he's into the game.
It seems to me, Tony, that the player is going off is Fergie Toohey, who had a very, very good first half. Hadn't shone as much in the opening minutes of the second half, but it's drastic.
Yes, obviously Clare, they had a few chances in the last couple of minutes and hit maybe one or two bad wides, and have still left Galway very much back in this game.
I think the selectors are laying it on the line. We want to win this, guys. So too Galway. Liam Burke, great ball down, causing problems. Francis Ford wins the free in the centre of the exclusion zone, and Joe Cooney is ready and poised to take it. This guy, Francis Ford, we talked about in the first half. I saw him at minor and under 21 level. He's a prodigious talent. Joe Cooney we know all about. Rolling it up confidently and tapping it over the bar. And the gap is down to 3 points. 5 points for Cooney. 5 frees taken by Joe Cooney. And 3 scored. Cheers all around. Davy Fitzgerald. Ready with the puck out. The crowd ready to break the decibel level, if that's possible. Conor Clancy way out now around the centre of the field. Galway having their best spell in the match. Denied, however, by Liam Doyle. Broken up again. Nigel Shaughnessy, the one who's repulsing the attack, losing the left boot. That's Conor Clancy.
Nigel Shaughnessy definitely, Gerard, has turned it into the game for Galway, and if they can get more possession into Francis Ford the way he's been informed there in the last number of minutes, I think Galway have a great chance still in this game.
Well, Nigel Shaughnessy, you mentioned, is now centre-half back, and it is Keogh and Coleman at midfield for Galway. Shawnee McMahon winning it back. I think he was intending to leave it for Jamesy O'Connor. Good ball forward towards Jim McInerney, and in fact it's Stephen McNamara who's in there. McInerney just ahead of him, in here challenging, but the ball overhit. Well, the Galway dugout there. Pat Malone, just second from right, had been captain. There he is, suffered an eye injury some time ago, but thankfully back and able to play at the highest level once again. And also a Galway substitute, taking the liquid here from Dr. Mike McGloin. That seems to be Jackson. The man they call Jackson, of course, Joe McGrath. Meanwhile, play continues, and that sails over the bar from Justin Campbell. Galway now, I think, believe that they have the skill and the craft to lure the Clare ambition. A 2-point game, where once there were 8 points between them. What a comeback, and this by Justin Campbell. Lovely score.
Great score by Justin Campbell, and maybe he can be the man and set the forward now to inspire Galway.
I tell you, Galway may not have got the chemistry right from the outset, but they're getting it right bit by bit. They're also getting the measure of Clare. Conor Clancy. The Clare players must now begin to have some inner self-doubt. Brendan Keogh. He's made a difference at midfield. Anthony Daly want to keep his team in front. 15 minutes left. Good ball in, danger here. Richie Burke does magnificently. This is a great semi-final. Liam Burke. Burke on his way. Jamesy O'Connor putting in the challenge. Hopper McGrath. It's still the Hopper. Trying to put one between them. And that's a poor miss by Hopper McGrath. Well, he really had the chance there. I think we're in for a nervous and edgy last 14 minutes of this tie. Both sets of forwards know they're going to get chances. Their nerve will have to hold. What they did on the training ground and were doing earlier on, they'll have to do here in the blazing heat of battle. Gerald Loughlin beaten for it by Michael Coleman. He's been absolutely magnificent. Played his heart out all through the first half. Still Michael Coleman. Towards Joe Cooney under the dropping ball. It's Anthony Daly away here to Paulie Kelly. Fumbles, then recovers his composure. Liam Doyle put under pressure. Copes admirably. PG O'Connell, great catch. Jerry McInerney staying off him. O'Connell's shot is high. Is it between the posts? It's over the bar! That might yet prove to be a very important point. Galway had been eating into Clare's lead. And now with about 13 minutes left, O'Connell has stretched Clare's advantage once again. And they lead by 3 points. You can sense the nervousness, the tension all around this place. It's anybody's semi-final, and it's anybody's place in the final. Michael Coleman into the corner, but that's well read by Brian Lowen. Well taken away. Good strong hurling by Galway to set themselves up once again in a possible scoring situation. Francis Ford. The free is going Galway's way. The protest from Frank Lowen. Galway bidding to get into the All-Ireland final for the 17th time. Clare for the 4th. The last time, of course, 1932. This is the challenge here by Lowen. And the referee, I think, saw the knock in the back. And Brian Lowen is injured, just outside the large rectangle. And it may well be a calf muscle injury.
Yes, Jerry, I think as Brian came out to clear that last ball, I think he could have pulled his hamstring, you know, and this is a nice place to be in the last 10 minutes of a hamstring injury.
Because he's been playing so confidently and with such great assurance. Clare prepare a substitute on the far side, seems to be Kenny Morrissey. Brian Lohan, he'll want to stay on if at all possible. He looks okay. Joe Cooney is ready to take this free. 20 metres out, right on the sideline. Pat Delaney alongside him. It's a tight angle, it comes off the post, and there was nobody reacting quicker than Liam Doyle to get it out. Not so far, out to Michael McGrath, to Liam Burke. Burke held up by Brian Lohan, and a free in, and this can put 2 points between the teams again. Wow, some battle.
Some battle now, Ger, and certainly Galway are asking an awful lot of questions about Clare now at this stage. And
we've asked questions about Galway as well. I've been intimating, I suppose, that some of their players had an awful lot of play, Joe Cooney among them, but Joe has responded with craft and skill, and his free taking has been admirable once again. Joe Cooney's now got 6 points in this match, 4 of them coming from frees. 2 points the difference.